Welcome back to another week of e-learning. Let's give yourselves a round of applause because you have made it 2 weeks of e-learning. You guys are doing such a great job. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for putting in the effort and the hard work, and it's really going to pay off. It's only going to make us better. So I hope you guys have a great week, and we're going to go ahead and jump on in. So this week we are still working on author's point of view. Now last week you had some assignments to do, and we used this same anchor chart, and we also have the same LEQ for this week, but we're going to be using a different text, and I think you guys are going to like this text. And so let's go ahead and dig in, and let's take a look at our LEQ. So it says, how do I describe an author's point of view about a topic using key details from the text? So as I'm looking, remember when we're talking about describing an author's point of view, it can talk about how the author is feeling, what their beliefs are on a topic. Now, and we know that the author is the person that is writing the story. So we're going to put writer. And the author's point of view, remember, are their beliefs, their opinions, okay, and how they feel. Now, and remember, these key details, guys, using key details, when we find the author's point of view, we want to support it. We want to find the proof. We want to find the evidence that tells us how we know that that is their point of view. So this is the proof. Now, the reason why we need proof is because you need to be able to support it. You need to be able to make sure that the author's point of view that you found is correct. So if you're reading and you've made a prediction and you feel like the author's point of view is that they think that ants are amazing hard workers, and as you're reading, you find out that they're not saying that ants are hardworking. Maybe they think that they're not hardworking. Maybe they think that bees work harder than ants. So as you're reading, you need to be finding the evidence, the details that support the point of view. So I'm not going to go too much into this because we did go over this last week. So if you are having a hard time, if you can't maybe remember how to find author's point of view, make sure you go back into the week 2 folder, and I'll link it in our week 3 so that you can go back if you need to and watch the video again. So what we're going to do is today you're going to be working on a new text, and I'm going to switch so you can see it. So here is the text that we are going to be reading. It is titled Dolores Huerta, Growing Up Strong. So this is actually a biography, and remember, a biography is a text that is written about somebody's life. So this is informational. So we are going to be learning about Dolores Huerta's life growing up, and we are going to be focusing on the point of view. Now, the author's point of view, the author is not a character in the story. The author is not Dolores. So some of your responses last week when you were working on author's point of view, you were saying that you were putting the author as one of the characters. And so this is a story written by the author about Dolores's life. So when you're focusing on author's point of view, you want to think about, what do they think about her? What do they think about Dolores? Do they think she was a good citizen, which you can see right here where it says, what do good citizens do? Read about how Dolores Huerta's actions helped many people. So remember, when we're previewing the text, we can preview and kind of get an idea, make a prediction as to what the author's point of view might be about the topic. So we preview by reading the title and by looking at the headings if there are. So this first heading right here is called Good Citizens. We can also use the heading or the captions with the illustrations and the photographs. So it says Dolores Huerta helped farm workers who spent many hours working in fields. Okay, so I'm kind of getting an idea as to maybe what the author's point of view is. Now, I'm not going to tell you what the author's point of view this time. You guys are going to be finding that out. I am, however, going to help you find some details that are going to help support your author's point of view. So let's go ahead and start reading. Now, the nice thing about it is that when you guys have this in Wonders, you can click the audio button here, and if you're having a hard time reading, you can always listen to the text being read to you. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to model just looking at that first paragraph right there, and the first section right here, and we're going to find some details. So here we go. Dolores Huerta learned to help people by watching her mother. Good citizenship was always important to her, and she taught Dolores that women can be strong leaders. When Dolores grew up, she had the same beliefs. Okay, so I just read a chunk of our story, and so I'm going to stop and I'm going to ask myself, okay, so if this is something that supports the author's point of view, and if I feel like it's important, I'm going to write it down in my graphic organizer. So I'm going to pull up my graphic organizer right here. And I'm going to think, okay, is there anything important in this chunk right here that tells me maybe what the author's point of view is? So here we go. I'm going to reread it again. Dolores Huerta learned to help people by watching her mother. Good citizenship was important to her, and she taught Dolores that women can be strong leaders. When Dolores grew up, she had the same beliefs. Okay, so I learned that to help people, or Dolores learned to help people by watching her mother. And her mother taught her to be a good citizen and to be a strong leader. Okay, so that to me sounds like it might be important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my little text box right here, and I'm going to type in, and I'm going to summarize kind of what I just read there, because I feel like this is important. Good citizenship was important to her. Remember, whenever you see that word important in a text, that you probably should reread it again to make sure that you're not missing anything. So to me, that is important. So I'm going to come over here to my text box, and it says Dolores, oops, maybe let's put it in some text that you can actually see. Okay, so Dolores' mother taught her to be a good citizen and a strong leader. All right, so here could be our first detail that could support our author's point of view. So Dolores' mother taught her to be a good citizen and a strong leader. So as we are reading, we are going to keep looking for important details that support the author's point of view. Whenever you see something that tells you that might be important, either when they talk about something specific about Dolores, we want to add that to our graphic organizer. Now, there could be more than one detail in a box, so I'm going to keep on reading because I could find some more information there. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's read this next section titled Good Citizens. Dolores was born on April 10, 1930. She lived in a small town in New Mexico until she was 3 years old. Then she moved to California with her mother and 2 brothers. Dolores grew up watching her mother participate in community organizations. Her mother believed that all people deserve to be treated fairly. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to ask myself, okay, is there anything important in this section right here that is talking about Dolores specifically, something about Dolores? So what I've learned in this paragraph is maybe it told me where she was born, and it told me about her mother. It says her mother believed that all people deserve to be treated fairly. So I don't really have anything that I'm going to add to my graphic organizer about Dolores that would help me with the author's point of view. So some of you may think that this Dolores was born on April 10th, 1930. That is a fact about Dolores. That is not telling me what the author thinks about her. Okay, so let's keep on reading. So we're going to jump back into this third paragraph right here and see if we can find some details that would tell us what the author thinks about her. So it says, when Dolores was a young girl, her mother owned a hotel and a restaurant. Many farm workers who lived in their town were poor and hungry. They were paid very little for their hard work. Dolores' mother let them stay at her hotel and eat at her restaurant for free. This taught Dolores and her brothers that good citizens get involved in the community by helping their neighbors. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there because there's something important that I want to pull out. I learned right here that Dolores learned that to be a good citizen, you need to be involved in your community and help neighbors. So that's something important that I want to add over here to our graphic organizer. So in this same box, I can still add something else in there. I don't have to go to the next one. I can write some multiple things in one box. So I'm going to write down Dolores learned from her mother. Now I'm paraphrasing. I'm not copying it straight from the text. That to be a good citizen, she should, be involved in the community and help others. Okay, so there is just another detail that I can add into the same box if I need to help support the author's point of view. Okay, so what your job for today's assignment is to continue reading the story in Wonders, Dolores Huerta Growing Up. You can take these 2 key details that I have, but you are also going to add some more. So there's going to be some more pages for you to read. I think there's 1 more page that has 2 more sections. And you're going to be finding more details and also the author's point of view. Okay? If you guys need help, make sure you reach out to me. I can do a conference with you. I can also answer any questions through Dojo or messages. And if you need to, rewatch this video as many times as you need to, or go back into last week's video and watch that one as well. All right? I believe in you guys. Make me proud.